So the audience probably won't like it. And I was so busy, I totally didn't care about my own Instagram anymore. It was all about making this Raya business work. So yeah, it took a back step, which I think in turn helped, because otherwise I would have lost so many followers, I think. Yeah, not that I don't care about them or anything, but I just thought that it's totally different from what I do now. It's just the next stage of my work.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Raymond Tan. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This is a very special podcast for us
It's big, it's
because
big.
first of all, our team loves you and
Oh.
loves your brand, and they go there
And
almost weekly, and you're like across
We
the
have
road, our neighbor. Yeah.
One member of our team goes there at least
Yeah.
twice a week. I reckon.
Literally,
To do
yeah.
it. I love it.
And we got to collaborate on the
Corey, yes.
and yourself, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, we're very happy to have you on our podcast.
I'm so glad. Yeah,
So
one
happy.
leads to another. That's however.
Yeah, well, as Torren was mentioned, we actually went and dig deep on like who is Raymond and like what's happening, and then I started scrolling down Instagram because I feel like I can find a lot of information on Instagram,
Yep.
and then I kept going down and down and down and down, and it was like a different part of your life and all the different cakes and shapes, and I'm like 10 years scrolling down, and I'm like, wow, this guy is so
30
consistent.
kilos ago. 30 kilos
30 kilos ago. I'm like, this guy is so consistent, and like you're literally being so consistent with it. So yeah, why don't you take us back a little bit and tell us a little bit about your journey, how you started, how you grew up, and how did you get into becoming a baker?
So I grew up in a very small town in Malaysia called Klang. It's known for like this dish called bak kut teh, and we have that for breakfast and things like that. So I've never baked anything in my life, or like I don't even have a sweet tooth until I moved to Melbourne.
Really?
So yeah, and then
How old were you when you moved to Melbourne?
I think I was like 18 or 19 almost. Yeah.
Right.
And then the first time I had a piece of cake from Grey Coast, I was like, this is crazy. And
From
then,
where?
You know, I don't know. This was back then. Crown still have like Grey Coast, the Greek like bakery where they have like a cabinet full of cakes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first, I think, time where I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Really? So
I
you
need
really
to
haven't
know.
eaten many cakes or anything like that in the past?
Growing up, yeah. In Malaysia, I think back then, not so much cake, but there's a lot of like kuehs, like the dessert that I make now at Raya. And we don't really have like a sweet like cake type thing. It's more like dessert soups, street snacks that are sweet. So coming here, cakes is such a big part of like celebration and things like that. And then I got very curious. And then at that time, I think it was like the peak of all the TV, like competition, cooking show. And yeah, people will always flop making desserts so sweet.
Yeah, like
And
the
I was like,
Adriano Zumbo, like
I was
Crock and
"Whoa,
Bush and
that's
shit like
so
that. Yeah,
crazy."
yeah.
And I was like, how long does it? And then naturally, I was so curious.
Yeah.
I was in uni, and then started baking.
Right.
And like, cooking and baking. And,
But growing up, were you really into food? Like your whole family was really into food?
yeah, my whole I think it's an Asian culture thing. Our lives sort of revolves around food.
Yeah.
Like celebrating and eating good. I think that's like a little luxury that we can afford to. So
What did your parents do for work? Like,
so my dad was an engineer, and then like a construction engineering. My mom was always like a housewife. So it's like a pretty mediocre family, but they always gave me like the best chance. Yeah.
and then what made you move to Melbourne at the age of 18?
I came when I was 14 for like a holiday, and all my cousins were here. And then I knew I have to come back for uni somehow. And then, I did that, and I stayed on, and
So you came to study.
Yeah, I came here for uni.
And what did you study?
So I did my diploma in event management, and then I got my degree in marketing, and then I worked for a little bit, and then I got my master's in accounting.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
And then during that time, you were
Yeah.
just cooking for fun?
Yeah, it was all for fun. And then one day I was still working. I was working in fashion retail before. So one of my colleagues was like, oh, there's this thing called Instagram, and I'm hooked on it. And I was like, okay, cool. And she said, you should start posting all the stuff you make. And that's what I
Oh,
did.
because you're already making a lot
I was
of
already
stuff.
baking. I was making like all these desserts for my colleagues and friends.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm Marion. Her name is Marion. She's like, you should get on Instagram and start posting. And then
Right.
that's exactly what I
How
was
did you learn?
Instagram was a thing.
yeah. And then went back to uni. And then that was when I realized I don't want to do anything with accounting or finance anymore.
Right.
And then the moment I graduated, I took a year off to just see how this goes. Yeah.
So you just baked
Baking.
for a whole year.
So I told my mom, I was like, oh, because I'm already started selling my cakes from my kitchen, my apartment kitchen.
Oh, okay, to who? What were you selling
To
cakes
friends, families, people, like friends would tell people, like when they see my Instagram, they're like, can I buy this? And I started
Right.
selling them. And then I was like, if I can sell like 4 cakes a week, then I don't have to work
Yeah.
Wow.
like a full-time job. Yeah. And then
How did you learn though? How did you learn cooking? Baking?
At that time, it was a lot of books and
Okay.
then a lot of magazines and all these fun recipes. Like back then, magazines were such a big thing, like Gourmet Traveler,
Yeah.
Donna Hay, and then all the cooking shows, like all the, I think, MasterChef's on, there's all these recipes, and then I was just making them. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's how I started.
So you just self-taught this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What was that process like? You loved it.
Loved it. Fun, I think, because it was like a hobby. So it wasn't like a work, so no pressure. Yeah. And every time when you bring something over to a friend's place, they're like, oh my God, desserts. Yeah, it's the ending of like a meal, so no one really complains about
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
And everyone would love you.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone would love you because it's like he's the guy who always brings
He
cakes.
always brings stuff. And
Yeah.
then I was like, cake was like the last thing that I made because it's always so intimidating to bring like a whole cake. And I didn't really grow up eating a lot of it. So towards my last year of my uni, I was like, oh, every time when someone invite me over, I'll bring a cake. So that's how I got through like baking tarts and bread and things like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And did you like set that as something that you wanted to do to
Yes.
get better at baking?
Yeah.
You're like, every time someone invites me to
Yes.
something, I'm going to bake a cake.
Yes, I'm gonna bring a cake.
Okay,
Yeah, instead
cool.
of bringing like a present, I'll just bring something that I make. So it's like, yeah, known to be that gifting, like
And
the cake.
when did you realize that fuck, I'm like good at this, and I kind of want to make it a career of?
Okay. Till now, I don't think like I'm that confident with myself because I always have this like, oh, I'm a self-taught baker. So, but I think at one
Wow.
point when I started getting people asking me to make their wedding cake, and then the next one was like, would you teach this thing? So I went around the world teaching people how to decorate cakes and make desserts. So I was like, slowly, gradually, I became a bit more confident with sort of what I do. Yeah.
But your work is like, I mean, going back and looking on the photos you used to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's art. It literally is art. Like you are drawing, you are making
Yeah.
all these shapes, and like, how did that style of work kind of reveal itself to you?
So I was always interested in like buildings and architecture. I actually did a year of architecture school before I moved to Melbourne.
Okay.
But then I gave up because it was so tough. And then I just thought, oh yeah, cake could be like a medium where I play around with the shapes and the colors. And I think naturally working in the fashion industry, you get sort of exposed to all these like combination of things, inspiration. So I kind of have like a line of style that sort of built as I go, I think, yeah.
It's amazing. Wow. So you just like through trial and error, you're building the cakes,
Yes.
you're getting better at the
Yeah.
design.
So yeah, and then slowly I sort of steer clear of what other people's doing. Like I know the Instagram at one point, it was all like the buttercream, the drippy cake. So I tried, like I learned how to make it and I will make like put like my little twist to it. And that
Wow.
kept me fresh, I think, in the social media world back then. Yeah.
So you just had turned kind of like social media into a business. People were
Yeah.
like DMing you, you were making cakes for them.
Yes, yeah.
And then did that kind of blow up and then you got maybe some more people to help you, or how did it go from there?
So it was all myself and my cousins that are all here for uni, or they were just helping me at home until Raya started.
Which was like how long ago?
I think that was 2020 during.
COVID.
So we signed the lease before COVID, and then COVID hits.
So
Yeah.
like the time you were posting on Instagram,
Yep.
is this where your account kind of like
blew up.
blew up?
Yeah, so it was really funny because one day, because when you bake at home, you don't want to waste anything. So like I always save like the cake scraps and things like. So my whole freezer is full of like all these little bits of cakes, because it's so like it's just like you wouldn't throw that away. You would just save it. And then one day it got so crazy, and then I have this little cake pop, like a mousse mold, sitting around. I got them from like Singapore or Malaysia, so I just decided to make cake pops because it's a way of using up all the cake scraps, and then that blew up.
So that's how you actually. Oh, okay.
So that one little dessert, the cake pops, blew up on Instagram, and the Instagram said, "Would you do our Christmas campaign?"
Who?
Instagram.
You work with Instagram.
So they messaged from I think San Francisco or something.
Wow.
This lady, and then she's, we would like to sort of showcase this as part of our Christmas. Yeah.
So
festive
Instagram
campaign,
reposted your work.
So yeah, they did like
Wow.
a video, and that was it. And then back then, all the accounts were like, "What beautiful destination," and things like that.
Yeah. I
so,
mean,
yeah.
looking at your account, it's
Yeah.
all like, it's very aesthetic. It's like, that's how Instagram used to be, where like,
at that time.
at that time. And
It's
we're
very
like,
of the time.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
And I think you nailed it. Like you actually, obviously you can tell like you had the taste and the marketing experience. And yeah, like you did it really well.
I tried.
Yeah. Nice.
Just give it, yeah.
And like, so the account blew up. Like, what were you doing at that time other than just baking? Did you have an accounting job or?
At that time, I was still working like a part-time and I was baking. And then I decided to, quit my job and just focus on the cake side. And then I think like 2 or 3 months in, I was like, this is getting crazy. I can't bake myself. Like everything is done from this 2-bedroom apartment. It was crazy. And I started saying yes to teaching. So like to travel overseas. So I was like, it would be nice to travel because I just finished my master's. And then, started doing workshops all around the world. Like
So you
For
spent
cake decoration.
for cake decoration, for small desserts like the cake pops. Because people were like, how did he make this? Like so consistent, the
Yeah.
shape and then the design of it. And I started getting invites to teach.
It's amazing. I can't believe it.
So
Cake
you-
pops.
Yeah.
you spent all this money studying bachelor and
Yes.
masters and you know in completely different like
Yep.
majors and like
Yep.
industries, and ended up like teaching
Yep.
baking. Very interesting. But then how was like the family kind of perception towards this? Because I know a lot of the time people think you're a bit crazy for kind of doing stuff like that.
They were the biggest. No, they're not supportive at all.
They didn't
So my
support.
mom was really funny because she was like, when I started selling my cakes, she's like, really? Who buys them? And then when I started traveling to teach, she's like, who goes to you? She's like, who comes to these things? Yeah, quite literally. And then, I think being that in that situation, I always try to prove myself. So that became like a push. I'll keep doing it until
Do you still do you still operate like that? Are you still trying to
Always,
prove yourself? Yeah.
I think now I kind of don't give a anymore. Like I'm just doing whatever I like now. Yeah.
And they're happy with like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So finally, I think 1 year I was doing a massive like a Grab campaign in Thailand. So I flew over for like 2 weeks.
Grab.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know like Uber
Yeah,
equivalent
of
in Asia,
course.
we have Grab.
Yeah.
So I did a campaign in Thailand and I flew my mom in just to treat her. And she was, I think
And
from
she was like,
then on-
oh, you made it.
She's like, oh, cool.
This is
Yeah,
great.
people actually are interested.
yeah,
What
A
you do,
glimpse.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think social media was so new at that time, so people weren't really. I myself didn't know how to maneuver it, so I was just going with the flow, saying yes to all the projects, and then it just
Huge.
Yeah.
And then, so then you started Raya, right? You needed a bigger kitchen. Is that what you're saying? Like a
No,
team?
for Raya, because I was teaching for almost 3 years, so I was
Yeah.
traveling to like all these cities around the world.
Cool.
So I made friends with chefs, bakers. And then at the time, Melbourne sort of don't really have like a place to host them for classes. So they were always asking, would you be interested to host my class? Because everyone does different things. Like in Korea, there's this lady that does amazing like rice cakes and traditional like essentially, I think similar to what Che is doing, pickling and stuff like that.
Right.
But there's no way to host them. So I was like, it'll be cool, like a different business idea rather than opening a cafe. And then COVID hits. Yeah.
So the business idea was to open a place to host
For workshops, yeah.
hosting workshops
And doing like wedding cakes and events, like for people to try my cake for their weddings and things.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be a bakery.
More like a showroom.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Plus a place where you can host like events.
other people, and things like that. And
Okay.
then that didn't go to plan at all. Yeah.
Why? What happened?
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. And then we had to pivot. So 2 weeks before we opened, or 3 weeks, about a month in, I was like, oh, this is getting bad. Like all my bookings are getting canceled, all my events, all the weddings are like slowly pulling out. So I was like, oh, I probably can't run this for the first few months. I'll definitely make a loss. And then we don't know what's the situation with the rent as well, because it's my first like proper business. Like I signed my first rent deal. If I had no idea.
You can't fuck it up.
Yes, so we quickly put on a menu, put on the coffee machine, got all my cousins, Chen, so she's running Nimbo now, to come on board to help me with this bakery cafe. That's Raya.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did it go? So like from the early, so you've gone from
Yeah.
kind of like you're running the business and
Yeah.
you yourself are a business.
Yes.
How was it like
To have a team, to have a business partner.
Everything, yeah.
I built a jail for myself. I built a jail for myself. Immediately, I think the first week when we opened, my business partner then was like, how do we do this? I have no answer to anything. It was the craziest time, like so scary.
Were you also successful though?
I don't think it wasn't successful. We have a lot of orders, but we weren't making money for like the first 3 years. Yeah. So it was the craziest time. Yeah.
Shit.
Why weren't you making money for 3 years?
Just a lot of overheads, a lot of staff member, budgeting wasn't done properly, costing wasn't done properly. And I just didn't have time to do any of those.
And a lack of experience, because
Yes,
you've never opened your own shop
yeah.
before. It's so different to operate like on your own and just bake in your apartment to actually go and build a business.
And you can work as many hours as you like. And with the shop, it's not, because you have like a team of people working for you and you're like liable for all these things. So totally different. Yeah.
How did it feel for you kind of mentally making that transition? Was it hard?
Well, again, very strong-headed. So I have no choice because I have to make this work, because I only have the one shot. I've gotten the investment to open this shop, and then just slowly tweaking. And also, as crazy as it may sound, I think COVID gave me the opportunity to slowly tweak things. And from then I learned from my previous business partner, my chefs, my front of house team. I learned how to make coffee properly, and every aspect of the business I've covered. And then, that bought me time.
Right.
Yeah. What was the shift after 3 years?
So after 3 years, things started getting busier and busier for us. And then it's gotten a little bit more, I can feel like it's a bit more consistent. So in terms of costing and budgeting, it's going slightly better. And then that's when my previous business pulled out, and then I've got another business partner in to buy over her. And then,
So you got a bit of a trend and okay.
So I think I myself sort of know what I'm doing now. And then the brand sort of had like a set identity.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because when Raya first started, when we were on the drawing board, they're like, what is this space? I was like, it's just a workshop teaching, and then I have like some cakes for people to try. That's not a concept. That's just like an idea I have in mind. And then to what it is now, it's like a totally different thing.
What happened with your business partner, if you don't mind saying? Or...
So she decided to go back to Malaysia,
Okay.
and then, so we had a natural. Yeah.
And the decision to bring on another business partner, was that like you do want to run it on your own? Like you got used to having someone there, or you could just feel like...
Financially, I wasn't ready,
Right.
and then I still needed the investment from another person. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
Another
And
party. Yeah.
because you had the Instagram,
Hmm.
did you kind of slow down on the Instagram to boost Raya, or was
Yeah.
there like hand in hand?
So with Raya, I realized it's totally different from what I post. So the audience probably won't like it. And I was so busy, I totally didn't care about my own Instagram anymore. It was all about making this Raya business work. So yeah, it took a back step, which I think in turns helped, because otherwise I would have lost so many followers, I think. Yeah, not that I don't care about them or anything, but I just thought that it's totally different from what I do now. It's just the next stage of my work.
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
And then in terms of, so you said like you had the fully fledged identity of Raya.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a bit about what that was? Like,
So I think COVID sort of changed the things that I make. So the first 6 or 7 years, it was all like learning how to make cakes, learning how to do this, learning how to decorate and like make things perfect for Instagram. Whereas for Raya, I realized the door is open. People are coming in to taste your food. And then the first few months of it, I was like, I can't make things like a croissant and things like that, because there's like Loon just down the road and like all this amazing sourdough bread coming up, and it's not my niche. So I decided to touch like what I want to eat most. And then I was really homesick. So I got this book, which is all about the kuehs, and then about all the stories about why we make them and things like that. And then I knew that was it for me. For Raya, at least our flavor profile would be something like this, and things that I'm familiar and things that I know of. So yeah, tapped into that 100%, and then yeah.
So you started to focus on the flavor,
Yes.
but also something personal where you actually felt
Yes.
like familiar with.
Yes, I'm like, if I were to open my door, I would want to sell things that people would like to eat on a daily basis, rather than just to celebrate like a wedding or a birthday.
Yeah.
So that's how.
But then you set yourself kind of on a unique path, because the things that you know, basically no one else know, and it's
Yeah.
like that's your taste, and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, again, it's always looking at what people is doing and try not to do that, and just tap in deeper within like, what can I bring to the table that's a bit different. And for Raya, this instance is the Malaysian flavors, the traditional Malaysian flavors and things.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And how did it feel to kind of like bring your own culture into your baking? Like, is that a conscious step that you felt like, oh, this is like it's going to mean something to me, or it's just because like that was the flavor profile that you knew at the time?
I feel like that's something that it's the familiarity and things that I know best. And then at that time, I was also really worried, what are the Malaysian aunties and all the people that also know this food, things about what you're making. And thankfully, it was during COVID, so people were all feeling a little bit homesick. And then it was, sort of like my recipe to keep the business going.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that's 3 years.
Yes.
So then COVID was ending soon after that. I can't remember how long.
Pretty
COVID
much.
It was
Yeah.
3 years, yeah.
3-4 years.
And then after COVID, did you just explode? So I know a lot of businesses just went crazy.
So
after
we did
COVID.
a lot better. So there's like on a day-to-day basis, the business is slowly, I think, profiting slightly. Like we are still not like doing crazy numbers like a lot of the bakeries. And then things got better, and then I feel more comfortable. And then that's when I realized, okay, now we need to expand the kitchen. And what do we do about it? Yeah.
What was going on in your brain? Because I feel like, as you said, like when you were baking for Instagram, you were like chasing the aesthetics of things and how they look. But then going and baking for Raya, where like people are actually gonna taste.
Yeah.
Did you see that there is actually a lot of difference, if between the two, or do you think you can still do both at the same time?
I'm trying to do both at the same time, but honestly, I think it's more of the day-to-day people that I interacted
Yeah.
with. So
Yeah.
when they come into the shop and they eat my food and they tell you straight away, oh, this is good. Those are what I find a little bit more fulfilling than seeing Instagram. Because I feel like with Instagram, I'm already at that stage. Like I'm happy with it, so I need to move on to
Do you think you could be doing more with Instagram in your brand? Because I feel like you have a very strong foundation.
Yeah.
And like you see a lot of big accounts doing like, cooking videos
Yeah.
and like I feel like you didn't jump on that trend of
No,
like video making. Why is that? Why didn't you go deeper into like Instagram and content creation?
Yeah.
Considering that there is actually a really good career in it, and like people are making big money, and it's actually like really, if you compare it to running a business, it's way simpler in a way.
Yeah, it's. I think simple as it is was a lot of my time was taken up by the shops, and then I personally am not that confident back then, like to put out like my recipes and like the things that I'm doing at that time. Whereas I think a part of me still like wanted to maybe one day teach these kind of things, but I was like, oh, I'll save it, which I did. And then what came to fruition from that was that I finished writing my book. So I wrote a cookbook like just literally this week. We just had in the edit. So
You just
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
yeah, so I think
it
all
called?
it's called You're Welcome.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
sweet.
because we Asians we say thank you a lot. Like we thank you and we sorry, but I just want to say you're welcome.
I love that, man. That's so nice. Yeah.
So I think all of those things now turn into a book, and then I'm starting to slowly work backwards. Now probably it's time for me to create content to show people what I can do better now, and
Your bit more personal brand building.
I kind of get excited about it. Honestly, I get excited, like, because I feel like it's something you haven't tapped into.
Yeah.
And the idea just came to my mind. Like, I went back, I saw all the really good photos.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, he didn't do much like reels and like video work. But you could imagine, like, his work is so art.
Yeah.
You could just imagine that A to Z, like, video making.
Yeah.
And he's perfect to be in front of the camera as well.
And he's already got a big... exactly right. So, we can
I'm
probably...
shy.
Yeah, we can probably help him as well.
Let's make a cooking video.
Yeah.
Let's make some content.
If you
Why
have a
not?
channel in mind, I'm on.
Honestly. Okay, so, but do you honestly still have what's the word?
Desire?
Capacity or desire
Yeah.
to grow your like account to
Definitely,
reach more
yeah.
people?
I think if this question was asked before Dua was open, I would say no, because
Yeah.
I was so drawn back with my little Raya world. But then all of a sudden, I started getting asked to write a book. And then I started the second shop, which immediately wasn't as hard as the first one.
Which is
It
Dua,
was
yeah?
just at a Dua,
Yeah.
so it wasn't as difficult as Dua or Nimble even. So gave me that little confident boost. Yeah,
So you have Nimbo, Dua, and Raya now.
yeah.
And what was Nimbo?
So Nimble is a little dessert bingsu shop in the city. So it's a very long story about that. So we sort of fell into, so my cousin got the lease for it, and then we just had, this was like right almost at the end of COVID, and then we had to take over a business to run it. So it was a bingsu and toast concept, and then the cousin that was working with me at Raya is running that now.
Okay,
Yeah, so,
beautiful.
So we came up with the design, the menus, and the recipes, and then she runs it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the mental capacity to start a business at that time.
And then, so basically you started Dua.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was behind Dua? Why did you start Dua?
So funny, because we came to Collingwood, So after at Raya's first Christmas party, it was at Hope Street Radio.
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
Immediately I was like, oh, this place is so special and amazing.
So good in there.
And then
you guys really brighten that place up, though, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like the
Good
vibes in there
vibes.
now
Yeah.
that you guys are there, it's amazing because it just brings that daily
yes,
trade. I feel like during the day it's a bit like
Hmm.
so apart from weekends, not that many people. Like
I think that's what Collingwood Yards wanted us to do. And I was immediately during the daytime, it would be nice to have a cup of coffee here or have a slice of cake or picnic and things like that. And then last year during Melbourne Food and Wine Festival, I came for a Curtis Stone sandwich.
Okay.
And then there was like a notice saying like, oh, they're looking for a hospital tenant. So I picked in thinking it was just half the shop size because the other half doesn't have a door. It was like up to the stairs. I was like, oh, cool. This would be a perfect little production kitchen to expand Raya because we were making everything at the Raya, which is like a 40 square meter kitchen.
Tiny. Wow.
It's crazy. We can only make like 20 loaves of bread. And
Wow.
the demands are getting more and more. And then, so we're like, oh, it's a perfect spot for the little production kitchen. And then when we saw it, we're like, oh my God, this is like a magic, like a big space that so airy and bright that I think people will love to come in. And
It's perfect in there. The design of that place, it feels like you're at home.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. So the idea is so that people can come in, slow down. Didn't have much of an expectation. Yeah. So that's what we did.
And then how did your kind of like menu concept differ from Raya so much? Because obviously you guys make two different things at both the shops.
Yes.
What's Duo is more of a, how would you describe the difference between the two?
So again, I knew I wouldn't want to have like a second Raya because a lot of the times when business expand, it's just like it's easier to sort of carbon copy and paste and then have the same thing. But I feel like the vibe just isn't right here in Collingwood Yards to have a second Raya. So again, I knew I wanted to explore more on the bread making side. So the menu is slightly heavier on the bread making. And then when I saw those windows, it reminded me of like a school in like Copenhagen or like in Sweden, like all this bright space. I was like, oh, maybe it's time to play around with like the Scandinavian pastries and cakes.
Scandinavian works as well because
that's what he says.
I like the Scandinavian.
So when brought it into SI, it's a Scandinavian house because the flavor, because naturally the princess cake is green. So I was like, oh, what can we do? Matcha, pandan. And then we went with pandan for that because pandan is so iconic at Raya.
Of course,
And, you obviously considered the space
a
lot. So like the kind of this whole time through your journey, you've been still really into design and things like that.
Yes, very much so. I think I could go into NGV and get inspired and come up with a concept straight away, like with people's design or like look at the building and think of things like, oh, it would be so nice to have this in there. Yeah, so that's always
you can
been
sense it in the way you talk about it. And like obviously Dua kind of also blew up, like everyone knows about it. A lot of young people especially love your shop. Where do you think that's coming from? Like,
I think again, totally different thing. Like also again, people weren't expecting that from a Raya team, I think. So it's so shocking, and people started like taking notice of my work. I think when Dua opened, I myself sort of blew up, and then and then it's very current, I would say. With like Asian flavors in pastries and bread and things like that.
And aesthetics.
And aesthetics. Naturally, the space did so much for us.
Do you still like? I mean, when you like designing your menus and like pastries, do you consider aesthetics or do you like focus on flavors and you feel like the aesthetics naturally come to you because you're just so used to it?
My menu design process, it depends on the space again, and then what people want during that time of the day. In the morning, say like in Collingwood Yards, what would people want to eat? So the kind of category that we put on, so like cakes, bread, and then flavors comes afterwards, and then the look is the last, I think.
Okay, so you're looking at, I like that. I really do. It's like you're actually looking at what the area needs.
I think I feel that even when you go to from a personal experience, it's like it just looks like the it obviously looks good, everything that's in there, right? It looks
Yeah.
amazing. But it's like it looks just like good baked goods. Like it doesn't look like you've done any like there's no crazy design
Yes.
or like toppings or like considering
Yeah.
where you came from with like
Yeah.
your cakes and all of
Yeah.
that. Just looks
Yeah.
like good, honest food.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the vibe that you're going for?
Yes, I'm like, if people were working from there, 12 o'clock, what would they want? Like a slice of bread and like a few little nips and nubbins to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it literally it becomes a destination. Dua. I feel like a lot of people just come to the area to have dua.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It's true though. It's like which is
Can you blame them? It's so delicious.
How do you think like you're achieving these results? Like honestly, what kind of recipe do you have to
I think probably it's like a balance of like familiarity and just a slight little tweak and twist on things that you're already familiar with. So it sort of makes people, because I feel like at Raya at the beginning, we're only getting all the Malaysians, Indonesians, and it took people a while to get to know what we're making. And I think till this day, people don't know that we have like sandwiches, and because they are so drawn into all the traditional Malaysian desserts and sweets. Whereas with Dua, the concept of it is familiarity and what people want to eat every day.
Yeah.
So we knew bread was going to be something that is very easily received, and then obviously cakes for little sweet treats and cookies and things, and then we just play on that.
And do you feel like the fact that you're actually have like your product is original 100%, it's like your product is your product. There isn't a lot of like competition in a way because it's very unique. Does that make your job easier, or does it make it harder because you're actually trying to introduce something that is not familiar with what the market wants in a way?
I think for me, it works better for me. I think making something that's unfamiliar to a lot of people, but the moment you say this is a bread, then they immediately know what to expect. So it's the message that you put out when you market yourself, I think. So we're very lucky. We do when we first opened, immediately media, we already have like relationship with a lot of like media.
Yeah.
So the message was out there. It's going to be like a bread heavy.
Yeah.
So people naturally came in, and then when they see like a focaccia with scallion oil, and they're like, oh, cool. Not too
It's not too
yeah,
crazy.
Not too
Not too
crazy.
crazy.
I see. That's actually a good formula.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're kind of like presenting like
Yeah.
almost Western food or
Yes.
food that's easy to understand.
Yes.
And then just putting a little kind of Asian or Malaysian twist on it.
And then when we first started, I was like, okay, we only want like 4 cakes, like 6 bread, just to ease my team again. Because with Raya, we were just down in the deep end. Like we were doing so much, and we had so many like bakers coming through that don't understand what we do, and to learn all this was so hard. So we do a slightly more planned, slightly more I came in with a bit of a strategy almost, So
Beautiful. So now like you've got like all these businesses, basically 3 of them. I'm you got I know you do a lot of collaboration with other brands as well. You're definitely high demand. How does your passion for actually just baking fit? And how did you find this kind of passion and like love for baking shift throughout the year? And I'm really curious about this question because, when you're a creative person, you start with a passion, but then it becomes your job, and then you slightly start to kind of lose a part of that passion in, meeting expectations and, how has your experience been like?
Yeah, you have no idea how much I love the kitchen. So like even one day a week in the kitchen, I love getting my hands on and talking to my team how things works, finding out what's wrong and things like that. And then when I get a client that just says, you have the free reign to do whatever, the joy is just crazy. And I feel like at the moment, I still have a lot of juices in my head to go through and make. So I think it's a balance. So I think at this point, I'm 5 years in with like 2 bakeries under my belt. So I kind of know people expect to come into each of the shop what they want, and the team is running it okay. So I sort of free myself up to do more like collaboration and slightly more high concept catering and things like that.
So that's where you get the creativeness flow.
Yeah, I think.
And what's your so you've got these your 2 bakeries under your belt.
Yeah.
What's you got your juices flowing? What's your dream kind of concept?
My dream concept, it changes always. Like I think a few months ago, I was like, I would love to have a donut and ice cream shop.
Wow, that would be huge. That would be amazing. But you'd have to compete against John with Askal if you do that, right?
But and then obviously not stepping on his toe and do something slightly with a twist again. But then it changes every time. And then now I'm like, I just finished doing a catering for the Tolano galleries. And in like literally a garage just down the road from here on Smith Street. And then that got me inspired. I thought, I would like to do more high concept catering like this. So every day there's something that I'm like, oh, it would be nice. Magically this pops up. And,
are you on the hunt for something else, or you're chilling for a little bit?
I'm gonna chill for a little bit.
It's got the book, so that's
so I think this year I went a bit too hard. I think it's you have to know when to slow down as well, and just make sure that your current machine is well oiled before you take on more. I think.
Did baking used to kind of like be an escape for you, kind of to relax and do all those kinds of things?
Yes.
Do you still do that to relax, or is there something else now because it's your job?
I still do that now. It's still something that relaxes me if it's not business related.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like, if I don't have to do it for business, that's a joy. Yeah.
So when was the last time you baked at home?
Not from home. Not a lot from home anymore. Even though it's in the shop, it's still fun. It's still fun. And and I could make it, like, I think writing this book sort of reignites like my little memory, why I make this, why I do this.
Tell me about the book. What's the book about?
So it's coming out next May, I think early next May with Murdoch Books. So it's, when we concept the book, it was just what I made throughout the years. And then I realized from my upbringing till in Malaysia, when I moved to Melbourne, food is actually so close to my heart, and it's so relatable to all the festivities, like to birthdays, to like Chinese New Year. I think when I first moved to Melbourne, there weren't many like Asian groceries even. Like, how do we make it special amongst my friends in uni? And then all of a sudden, my friends started getting married, and then I was making their wedding cake, and then birthday cakes, food that I've learned in funerals. So this whole book is about sort of like a semi-biography about why I make food and all the food that I make throughout the years. Yeah.
And it's got recipes, obviously.
It's got recipes. It's got like, I think about 100 recipes in it.
Okay.
So it's pretty crazy.
And are they all original recipes?
Some is like a little note from my aunt.
Yeah.
Some is like, I don't even know how the recipe started. And then a lot of it is like a fusion of things. Like we made a milk cake out of like teh tarik with like meringue on top, which is inspired by Spice Temple. So all the recipes that I've collected and made throughout the years.
That's amazing.
Honestly,
because imagine coming up with more than 100 original recipes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, where are you pulling those ideas from?
Because the recipe is always there. Like it's all written, and I have 2 shops that both have like recipes to go. It's more of like the story and the writing part that I didn't know. So I got Audrey to
the broadsheet, right? Audrey.
Yeah.
Wow,
so she was the one. I think after we did she interviewed for Raya. I think she just came on board with broadsheet, and then she was like, "You need to write a book." In that same week, I was bringing my desserts in to shoot the baker's book, and then Jane Wilson, she was like, "You need to pitch a book."
Wow.
What are you doing? And then everything sort of just came together.
So everyone believed in you.
except myself.
How can you not, man? How
I
can
know.
you
I was
not?
gonna say, have you always found it easy, like even with getting business partners and investors, to kind of like get along with people like that and do that thing?
Yes, until the shit sort of goes on. But getting along with people is easy for me. I think.
How are you like in the kitchen? Like, are you locked
Serious.
in or are you serious? Are you having fun? Are you?
Currently, if it's a kitchen shift for me, I'm quite serious. Yeah. So when I go in, I'm like, okay, we need to bang. We need to,
Do you panic?
pump all this out. Rarely, yeah. So it's funny because I have a new kitchen staff on board last week, and we were making all the curries and all the pies filling. So we were chopping onions and things like that. And then he's like, "Why don't you tear up when you chop onions?" I was like, "Because I'm a psycho." And then she's like, "Oh,
my God,
that's a good
lens."
hook.
Yeah. So I'm very focused, I think, in the kitchen. And after working with so many chefs, people like Joe, like from Corey, sort of inspire me at how professional she is in the kitchen.
She's a beast. Wow.
Yeah.
She's crazy. Yeah.
How clean she works, and seeing like bakers that come before me, that work for me at Raya. I was like, how they work, like I've learned so much.
Yeah. What do you say is like has been like your greatest achievement in your career?
I think probably writing the book. I think that's something that's not on my agenda at all. And then I was like, why would people want to buy the book? Because I'm so off social media for so long. And then it was the shop that does all the talking, so that gave me a lot of, I think, validation in some sense.
That's beautiful. I also feel like your demographic that is into kind of like Dua and Raya would really like your book.
I hope so.
Because I feel like they're young people, but I feel like they also would be kind of like the type of young
Curious?
people that would be curious and also like to bake and like
And they're like,
all that kind of stuff. Like we actually have a Malaysian girl that works for us, and she actually made us matcha white chocolate cookies the other day. So like I know she actually loves Dua. So people like that would love to get a hand on your recipes and make some of your stuff.
True. Shout out Andrea.
Shout out, yeah, she's amazing.
the matcha white chocolate cookie is in the book. The recipe.
So that's one of the ones that you brought.
I brought some. Yeah,
I'll
so,
try it.
yeah.
I haven't tried that one.
But I get where you're coming from with the seriousness of baking. Because I feel like cooking savory stuff is a bit more playful, but baking is very precise. You can't muck around. Like I love to bake, and when I'm in baking, my girlfriend doesn't like to bake with me because I'm too serious. I'm too serious, and she starts doing something, and I'm like, no, let me do it, and then But when you're cooking like other stuff, you like savory stuff. It's like, I'll just chuck a little bit more of this in or this in, or like balance it out. With baking, it's like it has to be.
I think one of the things that when I bake or when I sort of nail down like a concept of a certain thing, say like cookies, at the end of the day, it's just cookie. Go crazy. When you have fun in the kitchen, just go for it. And don't think of it as like baking is so precise. Sometimes it's good to just go off rail and see what it
Muck
turns
around.
out.
I should take that advice.
What about like, obviously now you have a team. I don't know how big is your team, but how do you go about like leading people and passing your skills to those people? Because I mean, I could imagine it could be quite like intense to pass all your years of experience and like recipes to someone else to do it.
Yeah.
And there come a lot of like responsibility and like, you know, like, what do you call it? Like a quality control, etc., etc. What's your approach like leading people?
I think it's not to see myself as like their leader or their boss, and see them more as an equal, because I think every person has their strengths and weaknesses, and then sometimes time fixes things. Like some person may not start as strong, and she might end up. So, like the graphic designer for Raya has been with us for 3 years. I think she started when she was 17. And at the beginning, I was like, what is she doing? And I literally yelled at her. I was like, if you make one more mistake, you have to eat this sandwich. And for me to get to that point, it was so shocking to myself. I was like, because I'm not like a naturally angry, I'm pretty chill. And
Well, we can feel it.
Yeah. so Shireen, I was like, so I told her off, and then I was shocked. I was like, oh, how did this get to this? And then slowly, she's now my longest staff. and she does the graphics for Raya during Christmas.
She's amazing now.
And she's amazing. She's the best. Yeah, and sometimes time and always have a bit of trust and over time and communication is key. I think. Yeah.
What do you look for when you're like hiring someone?
The most important thing is the want to work. So at the moment, I feel like a lot of the newer staff, a lot of them are like they're just here to sort of fill their time in between uni classes and things like that. And then people are not taking hospo as seriously as before, which I'm sure you guys have heard from other chefs.
It's all over.
People are not treating hospo as like a career anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a thing in me to sort of hopefully make people a little bit more passionate and see that it could be
Committed.
I think people like you are really the pioneers of that. Because I feel like things that, you know, people think make hospo scary.
Yeah.
They're thinking of maybe, you know, restaurants and things like that are very, I know what you do is also like really full on baking, so you got to wake up really early and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, like you're quite a young person doing something in the space that's fun. And I feel like that is kind of what people need to open their eyes up about hospitality. So I feel like they're thinking of it as this like
it's a very
grungy, crazy culture and everything. But it can be something playful, like kind of like what you do. You know what I mean? And I think what people need to understand that any kind of food concept can be like a hospitality business, you know, and they can move into it and they can make it their own thing and have it speak about themselves.
Yeah. I think there's opportunity in every industry. So same with food and hospo. There's opportunity to make a career, a long-term career out of it. You just got to see it in the right eye as the person you work with or for or together. Yeah.
You go.
I honestly, this topic I'm actually really interested about. The fact that, you know, a lot of people say, oh, there is a lot of money in baking because you're just pretty much using flour. How would you explain this?
If you're just only using flour, then yes. But I think in Australia now, I think we have like a shortage crisis on things. And for example, in baking, you use a lot of chocolate, a lot of dairy, and eggs. So these are the three things that's constantly having shortages. And price of like a bag of chocolate is now $300 for 10 kilos.
What did it used to be?
It used to, I think when I first started, it was $170.
Wow. Almost 2x.
And this didn't go up like till probably after COVID. So it's like in 2 years, it's sort of almost doubled.
I feel like COVID with the prices
changes things.
It was just like, because even like I was still working on hospitality and stuff at the time. People were just charging like through the arse for stuff, but then it never came down.
Yes.
It's like even now with like, because the eggs, do we still have the egg shortage? No, I think the eggs
I think we're fine. My egg supply is amazing. So bird eggs. Like every few months, I'll get like a message. Oh, these eggs is. That's the only thing that came down.
Right.
Whereas constantly butter, chocolate, even I think sugar went up like mad.
It went up like crazy in the pigs, but then it kind of never came back down to its original price.
And it's the same with labor cost. It will never come down. It'll just keep going up. And rent as well. Every year there's like a yield. Like there's a 3% or 4%. So say like Raya is 5 years now. That means the rent has gone up 20%. So things like that. People
how do you approach pricing your like stuff? Like obviously putting prices up on some things like it's fucking hard. Like people a lot of the time don't take it. What's your approach?
So I think study what people is doing. Also ask yourself if you're comfortable buying this thing at this price.
At this price.
So for me, like I'm in the business, so I know how much a cake should cost. So if it's reasonable for me, then it's probably okay.
I have to say, man, look, literally yesterday, I went, I'm not going to say where, it doesn't matter really, but a local cafe here, and I mean, obviously it was Sunday, so there'd probably be a surcharge. I bought
even the surcharges.
I bought an almond piccolo. That's how big is it, right? And it was like $7.50.
Yep.
and I'm like, I can't believe I spent $750
Yep.
on that. Like, if honestly, if it was a latte, I'd probably be like, I could take me more time, but it was just so ridiculous. And
But I was
Like-
wondering, like, whose beans do they use? Like, what kind of dairy do they use?
That's
And
the
things
thing, because
like
that's
that, yeah.
everything that makes it expensive.
Yes,
Because like
yes,
really, I think coffee maybe isn't the best example because I think coffee is
Yeah.
actually underpriced.
Yep.
Because with the price of current beans and everything, coffee should be like $10 like the rest of the world. But because of Australians' attitude towards coffee, it actually isn't
Stuck.
going up. But I
Yeah.
think in terms of like the prices of other things going really high, like
Yeah.
for instance, what you were saying about like bread. If people are just using flour, the price of like a loaf of bread is
Yes.
outrageous. There's no way it should be that expensive priced by them. True?
no, how much is
Yeah.
how much is like a loaf of bread these days? $6-7?
But if you go to like
Yeah.
a nice like
Yeah.
bakery, it's like $12, $14 for
A loaf,
sourdough,
yeah.
a nice sourdough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
In
how
my
much
place
they're
it is.
selling now?
Yeah. Which I think is a lot. That's a big markup on bread, but that's just 'cause,
Yeah.
like the expectation of it has changed.
It is.
But coffee is really actually expensive to produce now because of all that. Because of the beans.
There's
that
a
sort
lot of-
change.
yeah, there's a lot of
shortages and all
coffee
this
shortage.
natural thing going on. Yeah.
Would
So,
you
yeah.
ever expand into something other than baking, like a restaurant or
True, you could kill it.
Probably.
as
or like a
restaurant.
cafe?
I think restaurant is too stressful.
Yeah.
That would really take me off possible, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think maybe like something to do with design could be cool.
Oh.
Yeah, design or the art space could be really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see myself retire and working in a gallery.
We
or
actually,
something, yeah.
like, honestly, an exhibition of your, like, I was telling Ty today, when I was looking at your photos, I'm like,
Yes.
these will print so nice. Especially where you were doing these, like, curved donuts and
Yeah.
shapes. And it's like art. It literally is like an exhibition.
Yeah, I think when I started baking for Instagram, I feel like I was like, oh, baking is gonna be my career for like a long time. But then slowly owning two bakeries later, I was like, oh, what can I do for the rest of my life? I think it will have to be something that keeps me inspired and creative, and I always find that with food and art. So I
You
have
could
another.
definitely do like you
Yeah.
could definitely do like you could start consulting or something. People will trust you. Like if they wanted to open up a hospitality business, you could help them to design the interior and like
Yeah.
help them with the menu,
Yeah.
all that kind of creative stuff.
That could be
cool.
something,
What are
yeah.
you like? What are you really into in terms of like design? Are you really into fashion, or are you more into interior design, spaces? What do you like?
Interior spaces, yeah, more of that sorts, yeah. Like, I'll be happy looking at a lamp for like, yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
Same.
yeah. I'm going into like a furniture shop. I could spend hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
even IKEA, it's so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
IKEA's
so those are
amazing.
like my happy places.
What
yeah.
do you? What's like a space that you've been to recently that you really liked the design? That's not your own.
That's not my own. I really like Trouble.
Yeah.
So the cafe that I think just opened up on Little Collins Street, like off Little Collins. It's the little hidden.
What is it called?
Trouble, TRBL. So it's like very small, but it reminds me of Little Rogue.
Right.
Like, because we haven't had that kind of venues in a long time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so cute and iconic, and you just want to go back. Yeah, very easy. It's just coffee. Yeah. So
Do you, like, is your family still in Malaysia now?
yes.
Do you
yeah.
visit?
I do. So I try to go back once a year or make a trip with them a year, hopefully. Yeah.
And
like
how
a
is
year.
it like visiting back? And do you get inspired more while you're there? Do you get
Yeah.
more like ideas about your recipes while you're in that environment?
Totally, because over back home, things are changing and evolving as well. So there's a lot of new voices in like the creative space and the food space. And it's really cool to see. Like, I often get so inspired, like what people make of, because in Australia, obviously, we have different cultures, and the same back home. So when I go back, I always feel like, oh, it's so familiar, but they are doing things so differently now. So yeah, it's really cool to see. Yeah, things.
And like, would you move back?
I think Melbourne will always be home, but it would be nice to live overseas for a few years, I think. Yeah, because I feel like I missed that part of my life where I actually could travel and lived in like London or New York for a few years, but I didn't take.
How crazy did you say?
Really? Are you saying it?
No.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I think
Yeah,
it's an important
Yeah.
part of everyone's journey. How old are you now?
I'm 37.
37. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we literally did a podcast earlier today at
Yes.
like 11 a.m.
Oh.
And she said the same thing. She's
Really?
38.
6.
36?
Yeah.
36. And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, because I was building my agency. She has an agency.
Yeah.
During my 20s, I never got to go live
Yes.
in London. And she's
Oh
now
my
just
God.
living in London now.
She's living there now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she moved actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, complete sidebar, but yeah.
But I feel like, they always say like, do you have any regrets in your life? And I said, yes, I have so many regrets in my life. And I wish I could go back to fix this. I wish I could fix this relationship with this person and live overseas for a few years. And this is very high on my list.
So you do regret it, but don't you feel like, everything that you did, relationship with the person, whatever, it's
Yeah.
kind of like it all happened for a
Lessons,
reason, yeah?
Yeah, totally. So it all happens for a reason, and then you hopefully learn something from it. Yeah.
What would you say is your like number one regret, maybe, if you have a big one?
For me, probably not speaking up to a lot of things. Like I just kept quiet, and I still do that. Like I'm very easygoing. I'm like okay with a lot of the things, and I wish I'm slightly tougher and speak up a little bit more when I was younger, I think.
More
That was-
more confronting.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I think I had it easy until I started my shop, and yeah. So for the first few years,
So
I
there's
wish
a bit of like a
yeah.
people walking all over you type of
Yes,
situation.
yes,
Okay.
And it's pretty. You're a very kind person as well. I feel like people sometimes take advantage
Yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
and they mistake kindness of like, how does that like affect the way you treat your staff and like
Yeah.
the people that work with you? Like,
So, staff comes and go. Everyone likes something for a reason. Everyone like a job for a reason. Everyone dislike someone or something for a reason. So, after like 5 years, like running 2 shops with staff member, I tend not to try not to. You will get affected. I think when a good staff leaves, you're like, oh my God, I am losing someone so good.
yeah.
But then you never fully understand what this person wants out of a job as well, and why if he or she doesn't communicate, you can't really rectify the situation. So to me, I'm like, every time when a staff says that, oh, it's time for me to leave, and like, I have all these reasons, I'm like, yeah, it's
Normal.
okay, yeah, it's a normal cycle now. Yeah.
You just don't take it personally.
Yeah, you can't.
Is
you
that what you
can't.
think?
Yeah.
No, it is hard.
Yeah.
That's actually
Yeah.
the most like I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people it's like, oh, it's hard to like
Yeah.
the pressure and like money and things like that.
Yes.
But for me personally as well, it's
Yeah.
the staff.
Yeah.
It's actually a really hard part of having. a
And
business.
people have different priority. It may be as simple as I want to go on a holiday for 6 weeks, so I need to quit my job. So
Yeah. Like what would you say been the most rewarding part about your journey so far in terms of like being an entrepreneur and having your own business and in your life?
Yeah. So I think just that both of my business is still going. I think that's a big thing for me because I didn't think it's gonna last that long. Yeah, and there was so many hurdles thrown at me when I started. So it was COVID, it was staffing. I honestly don't know what I was doing. And I'm quite shocked that like looking back, I'm like, oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's still there. And little things like that, every day when I come into the shop, oh, cool. My staff's happy, customers happy. Yeah, I think you gotta see this little joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not about having like 200,000 Instagram followers and things like that. Yeah, so it feels more real. I think these are the things that's. More
If someone was gonna get into, someone came to you on the street and was like, "Hey, Greg, I want to start a bakery."
Yep.
What would be like the first thing that you tell them about the business, about starting? Like, how can they be successful?
Probably like, are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah.
Honestly, though,
It's gonna be a lot
That's so
harder
funny.
than you think, but I think if you're persistent and if you're a bit crazy, cuckoo, then you're built to have one. Yeah, I think destined to have a bakery.
so if you're crazy, anyone listening out there, if you're crazy,
But you have to
start a
work.
bakery.
You have to
Start,
work
yeah.
like
You just
mad.
need to be
I think,
crazy.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to work. Yeah, in like, especially if you own business and like, what's your budget? Maybe know your budget. How many people can you have in your team?
Yeah.
And you have to be, putting in a lot of work in every aspect of it. Yeah.
Would you say like it's harder or easier now to start a brand compared to like, I don't know, I guess COVID is not the best time to compare it to, but like maybe that 10 years ago.
I think it's definitely harder now because people are more exposed to things. Media, social media, the economy is harder. Coming up with new ideas and things is harder because pretty much people are tapping back into like their childhood, things in the 70s and 80s now. So I don't think that's an easy sign. There's nothing new that comes out like for a long time to me. I feel that. Yeah. So as grim as it may sound, I think it's definitely harder. But if you succeed, there's something special. There's something special there.
What do you think is like missing from the baking culture in Australia?
Not that it's missing, it's just that the culture here is people are very specialized with one thing, which is, let's say if you have like a bread shop, you're just making bread. If you have a cake shop, you're just making cakes, which coming from like an Asian background, I think abundance is a part of our culture. So I think when I first started, I wanted to do so many things because I don't want people to just come in for like a bread or like a pie. Like I want to have like an offering that's slowly a shift. I think people are,
it's shifting. I feel like most of the bakeries are like doing loaves and like cakes and like cookies and like pies and like sandwiches.
It used to annoy me like having to queue for hours for just a donut.
Yeah,
that would have annoyed the shit.
I wonder why. I think maybe it's because, especially in Melbourne, we're so fixated on food, and it's like, well, if this place only does one thing,
it must be good.
They must be the best at the one thing. You know what I mean? So you want to feel that kind of like specialist kind of feeling towards it. Yeah.
I feel like things are slowly changing, and I think bakeries and cafes are slightly more open to doing things and doing more things.
What's something about like the modern bakery scene that you kind of like, that you don't like, that you hate?
That I don't like? Gosh.
You can throw shade on people. No one's going to judge you.
I hate it when I see like 3 donut shops on the street. Or like 3 croissant shops on the street.
What about like 3 gelato shops? Because they're always pretty closely clustered.
Gelato is like pretty intense.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So I'm like, if you want to open a shop close to someone else that's doing some things, could be like an Italian gelato shop and then an Asian ice cream shop, then that's okay.
But same concept.
Slightly different. Have a point of difference, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So have a point of difference. Fair enough.
I think so.
We got a few rapid fire questions.
There's more questions.
Yeah. They're small ones, these ones. Melbourne bakery culture in one word.
Inspiring. I'm constantly getting told like the Australian bakery and cooks are always ahead from someone. Like this started like 10 years ago when I started Instagram. And when I put out this book a few days ago, my publisher was saying, people were saying like Australian cookbooks are ahead of everywhere else in the world.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so
wow.
Very inspiring.
Most overused bakery trend right now.
Sorry, most
overused bakery trend right now.
Matcha.
This is tough. I wouldn't say matcha because my cousin will kill me. But wow, this is hard.
What about
tiramisu?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
another strong contender.
I was gonna drop. What do you call them? Not cinnamon roll.
Scrolls.
The scrolls with like the
cream on
ice.
Not over yet, I think. That's still going.
That's been popping hard.
I love tiramisu, by the way. It's just if I have to say.
I love tiramisu, and I also like matcha flavored things, but they're just like
it's a lot.
Yeah, they're going hard on it.
Best bakery in Melbourne right now. not yours?
Small batch.
Small batch.
Yeah, small batch.
Where is that?
Oh, I'm such a hypocrite because I'm just saying I hate a shop that do one thing, but small batch just does it so well.
What do they
that's the
do?
best. Laminated pastries, croissants, and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just consistent perfection. Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Flavor or aesthetics? Pick one.
Flavor. Flavor is what keeps you going, I think. Yeah.
Shokupan or pandan?
Pandan.
Pandan.
Yeah.
Okay. What scares you more? Being forgotten or being average?
Being average.
Yeah.
Yeah, being average, I think.
Pastry you'll never take off your menu?
Pastry that I'll never take off my menu. Pastry or cakes, it's okay
Cake,
too.
anything,
Probably the pandan chiffon cake.
The pandan.
Chiffon cake at Raya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest ego check moment in your career?
Biggest ego check when I started Raya.
Sure, that was such a good story. Yeah,
that
yeah.
totally starts me from zero.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. What does success actually look like to you right now?
I think stability. Yeah, knowing what to expect every day. It's good. Yeah.
Consistency.
Stability. I think that's, yeah. It doesn't have to be like crazy, like money-wise, financially, but stability, I think it's important and people often forget. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Want me to hit it?
You drop it.
If you're actually the collab king.
The collab.
Yeah. But if you could collab with anyone in the world,
Yep.
dead, alive, it can be like
A person
Michael
or
Jordan, Kobe Bryant, it could be Nike, it could be another baker, it could be
yeah.
anyone, a musician, anything. Who would it be and why?
So a person or a brand?
It could be anything, a brand as well, yeah.
My dream collab would be with IKEA.
IKEA, oh my god, that would suit him so much.
He just did because he just did
A
the
parody.
a parody. Okay.
Dude, that actually would really suit
That's
you. I could so
I don't
see
know.
that.
Yeah.
And then you make like a cake thing as well with it as well.
When we did the parody for mooncakes, I was like, IKEA would never do this. Yeah, so.
But IKEA, I feel like would like it. They're quite
I don't
creative
know.
with their marketing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, I
Shout
think
out.
so.
IKEA.
Have you ever reached
IKEA?
out?
No, I don't really reach out to people, which I
Okay.
should do more. Yeah. I need a
Okay.
manager, I think, or something. Like a...
There you go. He's a manager. He's a good manager. Well,
I think that's about it.
unless you want to add anything.
Nothing really.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
My
coming
pleasure.
and sharing
You're
your story.
amazing. Thank you.
It's very
yeah.
positive. I love your story, the ups, the downs, and you know.
Yeah.
I have no doubt your future is looking so bright and beautiful
I don't know.
and
No expectation.
artistic.
Yeah, no expectation.
And we can't wait to actually see your book and
And the IKEA
Yeah.
collab.
and
Yeah,
IKEA collab
hopefully,
drops.
yeah.
Yeah.
A simple IKEA collab and then I'm done.
And then yeah, guys, honestly, like just Dua, Raya, Raymond, like just go and try it out because it's so
It's amazing.
beautiful.
Thank you so
Just
much.
like Raymond.
Yay!
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.